We all talk about what we want from our city, right? Better roads, safer parks, services that actually work. But have you ever stopped to think about how a city government actually plans to get all that done? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the blueprint, the real, specific targets a modern city sets for itself. We're talking about a plan to be more capable, more collaborative, and way more efficient. It's a great question, isn't it? Because it's not just a list of big, fuzzy promises. A modern city government has a super detailed, measurable checklist to grade its own performance. It's less of a wish list and really more of a high-stakes strategic plan. And we're about to dive into exactly what's on it. And here it is, the official name for this whole game plan, the Modernized and Adaptive City Government Program. Now I know that sounds a bit like corporate jargon, but those two words are key, modernized and adaptive. It really just means using data and being flexible enough to build a government that actually works for the people it serves. So where do you even start with a plan this big? Well, you start with the people. The very first pillar of this whole framework is about building an efficient and stable team. Because, let's be real, a city is only as good as the folks who are running it day to day. Think of the city's employees as the engine that makes everything go. For that engine to run smoothly, it needs to be fully staffed with skilled people who stick around. That's stability. That's the foundation for literally every single service the city provides to its residents. And this is where the plan gets really specific. We're not talking about vague ideas anymore. The city is targeting a staff vacancy rate of 7% or less. So what does that actually mean for you? It means fewer, sorry, we're short-staffed moments, and more people on the job getting things done. And what happens when a position does open up? The goal is to fill 35% of those vacant jobs within just 3 months. You might be wondering, why the rush? Well, because every single day a key post is empty is a day services can get delayed or disrupted. This is all about keeping things moving. Now, this isn't just about frontline staff. It's about leadership, too. The city actually measures how many days top management jobs are filled by permanent leaders versus temporary acting officials. And that's because stable, consistent leadership is what provides a clear vision and long-term planning. It's absolutely vital for the city's overall health. So when you put all these metrics together, keeping vacancies low, hiring fast, ensuring stable leadership, and even tracking things like employee suspensions, they paint a pretty clear picture. The goal is a well-oiled, disciplined, and efficient administrative machine. But an efficient team is only half the story. Because for any of this to matter, you have to trust them. Which brings us to our second big pillar. Okay, having a capable team is one thing, but it doesn't mean much without public trust. So, the second major part of this plan is a direct, measurable commitment to being transparent and accountable. This is all about how the city plans to earn and keep your confidence. This quote from the framework itself really gets to the heart of it. Accountability isn't some add-on or an afterthought. It's the very foundation of the whole system. These aren't just nice ideas. They're supposed to be non-negotiable standards for how the city operates. So how do you turn a promise like that into real action? You start right here. The target is for 100% every single councilor to declare their financial interests. This isn't just bureaucratic paperwork. It's a critical tool to prevent potential conflicts of interest and to make sure decisions are being made for the public good, not for personal profit.
Transparency also means you have to follow the money. So the goal here is to publish 98% of all city contracts worth over 200,000 Rand. This basically opens up the books so anyone can go online and see who the city is hiring and exactly how much taxpayer money is being spent.
And finally, what happens when things go wrong? The goal is to have 5 or fewer audit findings. This one is so important. It shows a commitment not just to finding problems, but to actually fixing them for good so they don't keep popping up year after year. Okay, so we've got an efficient team and a transparent system. But where do you fit into all of this? Well, the third pillar is all about being responsive and making sure that your voice is actually being heard. This slide lays out what that ideal feedback loop looks like. It starts with community meetings and goes all the way to formal complaints. The system is designed to capture what residents are concerned about. And check out the target. The city aims to respond to 90% of all official complaints. It's all about closing that loop, so you're not just shouting into the void. And to make sure everyone gets a chance to speak up, the target here is 100%. That means every single ward in the city has to hold at least one formal community meeting hosted by their local counselor. This is about ensuring direct access to elected officials for every single community.
And this engagement isn't supposed to end with just one meeting. The framework also looks at how well the local ward committees are functioning. These committees are designed to create a continuous channel for community input, so it's more of an ongoing dialogue.
So we've seen all these different numbers and ambitious targets, but what's the system that holds it all together and makes sure it's all happening? Well, think of it like a fitness tracker for the entire city government, something that constantly monitors performance and keeps everything on the right track.
The official name for this system is the Organizational Performance Management System, or OPM. This is the engine that drives the whole modernization program. It's a never-ending cycle of planning what to do, monitoring how it's going, evaluating the results, and then making adjustments as needed.
And this whole system is built on a really important principle. Every single target we've talked about has to be SMART. That means it must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This is what turns a vague promise into a concrete goal you can actually track and hold someone accountable for.
And this might be the most crucial part. This isn't some static plan that's set in stone and then left on a shelf to gather dust. The source material is very clear that this system is built to be adaptive. The targets are reviewed and tweaked every single year to respond to new challenges and whatever new realities the city is facing.
So there you have it, the city's official blueprint for success. It's a detailed plan focused on its people, on transparency, and on being responsive to its residents. But all this leaves us with one last thought. Now that you've seen the city's plan, what does a well-run city truly look like to you?